Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be doing some buyer beware for the Criminal Enterprises DLC update. I'm going to be telling you which cars, vehicles, items, and more you need to absolutely stay away from. So let's begin with the big ticket items of this update, and that is going to be the vehicles. We're actually going to start with the new one, but there are a couple of other vehicles that have gotten some upgrades as well, so we'll dive into that as we get going. So let's start with the cars, and let's start with the Obey Omnis Egt. So this is going to be in the sports car category, four-door vehicle. It's pretty pricey as far as sports cars go, but I actually like it better than the other sports car in this update. So I'll explain that in a minute. I actually really like electric cars, and I think the vehicle that this is based on, which is the Audi e-tron, is really beautiful, and Rockstar did a good job bringing this in to Grand Theft Auto Online, so I'm a big fan of this car. I love the Obey brand. The only thing is the price, but other than that, I really like the car itself. And also remember that it's an Omni-Tech vehicle, so it can have the missile lock-on jammer or remote control unit. Could have slick mines or armor plating, which means it is going to get pretty expensive, but also making it one of the best Omni-Tech vehicles to have that sort of technology and features. So I definitely give this one the thumbs up. The next vehicle that I'm a big fan of, just because it's so unique, is the LM87. So this one is going to have huge sticker shock, so obviously only purchase if it's not going to completely drain your bank account, because it's $3 million alone, and then you have to customize the car. But it's so unique, giving off these like Le Mans race car vibes, and I'm a big fan of that. And it's obviously super fun to use in races, cruising around Los Santos. So even though it's pricey, I'm definitely going to give this one the thumbs up. Now moving on to our next sports car, and that is the Corsita. I'm actually going to give this one the buyer beware. The only reason I would say get it, and this is unfortunate, because I really like the car in real life and the one it's based off of, the Maserati MC20, but it just doesn't feel good in game. And to me, it doesn't have enough unique customization, and it's pretty expensive if you don't have GTA Plus and can't get it for free. That obviously changes everything here, but if you can't get it for the GTA Plus price, I wouldn't recommend getting this car. I would totally skip it over. And then the Torero Xo. I wish they gave this a more unique name, but names aside and price aside, because it is extremely expensive, I really like this car. I love the modern day Countach look, and I think it has a ton of cool customization to make this look extremely unique. It's one of the best looking cars in the game. I love a fast supercar, which is exactly what we're getting here. So I am going to give a thumbs up to the Torero Xo. Only negatives are the name and the price, but just like a lot of the other vehicles and items we'll be talking about in this video, over the next couple of weeks and months, there's a good chance that some of them will be heavily discounted, so just bookmark them and then come back to it. Now, as far as the Southern San Andreas Super Auto sites go, let's talk about the Bravado Greenwood. I think I'm going to give this one the buyer beware sticker too. And the reason for that is it's really slow. Now, I understand it's a muscle car. In fact, Rockstar even makes a reference to GTA San Andreas in the description. They say, so the next time someone asks why you keep buying that same bucket-ass car, you'll be able to fire back with more than a one-liner. And this is also an Omni-Tech vehicle, but it's just not as good as the other Omni-Tech cars. The only way I would consider doing this is getting the trade price, and you have to complete the first mission of the Operation Paper Trail stuff in order to unlock that. Then it gets it around $1 million. It's a little bit better, but at its buy it now price, I really wouldn't. And then the final new vehicle today, the Konada, I wouldn't buy this at all. This can't get any armor upgrades. It is not weaponized. That makes it a very expensive utility helicopter. And even if you get it down to the trade price by completing the cleanup mission for Operation Paper Trail, it's still not going to be worth it, in my opinion. There are cheaper helicopters that don't have any armored capability, and there are better weaponized helicopters. So I wouldn't end up buying that. Now, as far as what else Rockstar did with the vehicles, they made the Benefactor Sterling GT an HSW car. So if you don't already have it, not only do you have to purchase it, but all players are going to have to do the HSW conversion, which is pretty expensive. For me, it is $855,000. And then you have to add all the HSW options on top of it to actually make it worth it. Those are expensive, tens of thousands of dollars for each one. In fact, some even creeping up in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for all the upgrades you can do. So that means it's going to be pretty expensive. I think I'm going to give a buyer beware on that just because there's so much other new stuff to spend your money on. So just be careful. And then 6 existing vehicles have new liveries and modifications. To me, this is fine. The Pegassi Zentorno, Grotti Turismo R, Ubermacht Sentinel, Benefactor Sterling GT, Cheval Picador, and Benefactor Schwarzer. All of those received new liveries and modifications. That's fine. That's not going to eat a whole big chunk of your wallet. Now, after that, we have to move on to the new weapon that Rockstar added. And this thing is a hunk of junk. Don't even think about buying it. It's the precision rifle. You can get it from Ammunition, or you can get it from your armory. I have an 18% discount, and I still wouldn't get this thing. A rifle for perfectionists, because why settle for right between the eyes when you can have right through the superior frontal gyrus, whatever that means. It's $369,000, and that's with my discount. That's way too much. And you guys can see here, the only thing you can do is put a tent on there. That's terrible. And it's not even a good weapon at the end of the day when you bring it out. There's far superior weapons that you can use. Don't even bother wasting your time on this thing. It's just not worth it at all. Now, other than that, there's a couple of things you need to be careful with. Rockstar did add 200 new items of clothing for both the male and the female characters. These clothing options can get pretty pricey, especially if you start to buy, I would say like 10 or 20 of them. So just be careful. Maybe get like 1 or 2 outfits. Don't buy the entire store. There's also 2 new hairstyles for both male and female characters. That's fine. Hairstyles are easy. I will say, be careful with the 60 new tattoos that they've added. These tattoos are incredibly expensive, like $30, $40, $50,000 each. You don't want to be wasting your money on stuff like that. And then just be careful. As you guys know, Rockstar increased the property limit from 8 to 10, which means you could buy 2 more properties to store all these cars. Even though that might be the most convenient route, it might not be the best one. You might want to clean out another apartment that you have versus buying another set of apartments. It might just make you save that much more money. Now, there's a few more things that will only apply to certain players, and that is all the business stuff. So obviously, if you want to take advantage of a big part of the new DLC content, you're going to need an executive office. You're going to need a nightclub. You're going to need a bunker, and you're going to need a biker clubhouse. And if you don't have any of those right now, then you're obviously going to have to spend some money to get involved with the new content. I know that only applies to a certain percentage of people, but just know that if you do, and this is what we'll be covering in future videos, they've made it very easy to make money in this new DLC. There's a ton of stuff that you can do. So even if you are spending money on a lot of stuff, you should be able to make it back no problem for the most part. But that right there is pretty much everything new that you can buy in this brand new DLC as far as our buyer beware goes. I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Let me know what you think about all the new vehicles and items, which one should be getting the buyer beware sticker, which one should not. Let me know what you're thinking in those comments down below. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But, of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.